अर्चना सोरेंग को शायद बहुत से लोग नहीं जानते होंगे, लेकिन उनका नाम सुनहरे अक्षरों में लिखा जा चुका है। उन्होंने संयुक्त राष्ट्र जलवायु परिवर्तन सम्मेलन में धमाकेदार भाषण देकर भारत देश के सभी आदिवासियों एवं भारतीयों का कद ऊंचा की है। यह हम सभी के लिए गर्व की क्षण है। So I humbly request you to hear her speech, though it is in English. मैं आप सभी से आशा करती हूँ कि आप इन्हें सुनें और जो कुछ भी सुझाव एवं सलाह इन्होंने रखी है उनका अनुसरण करें। धन्यवाद।
I now give the floor to Ms. Archna Soreng, Indigenous Youth Climate Activist from the Kadia tribe and a former member of the United Nations Secretary General's Youth Advisory Group on Climate Change.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Johar. I'm truly honored and humbled as I stand before you at the United Nations General Assembly to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the President of General Assembly for giving me this opportunity and express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the Secretary General of the United Nations for his leadership and commitment. With heart full of love, I pay respect to our indigenous elders and ancestors across the globe, remembering their sacrifices and resilience. As a young person, being the torchbearer of the present and the future, I believe that the principles enshrined and values articulated in the Declaration remains as relevant as ever and is a significant landmark in itself. As we celebrate this milestone, it is extremely important to acknowledge, confront the uncomfortable truth, and address the root causes of persistent injustices. As we are still experiencing gross human rights violations across the globe, in different shapes, kinds, and degrees, directly and indirectly. The journey towards realizing these rights enshrined in the Declaration have been varied and uneven, especially with us, indigenous peoples, children, youth, women, and other marginalized communities. As we still continue to face systemic discrimination, cultural erasure, and gross human rights violation. We need new, stronger, and appropriate strategies to implement and protect the very existence and essence of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Denial of human rights can no longer continue and has to be an integral part of the national policies of the country. As we navigate the complexities of climate crisis, we must recognize the interconnectedness of climate, indigenous people, and human rights. We indigenous people have been contributing towards climate action, biodiversity conservation through our worldviews, way of living, indigenous knowledge, and community-led practices. It's not only about what we do, but who we are is equally important and needs to be respected. For us, nature is a source of identity, culture, tradition, and language. In our indigenous worldview, we are not mere part of nature, but we our nature itself. Even though we are the least contributors to climate crisis, we continue to be the most affected by the impacts of climate crisis. We are witnessing the melting of our sacred glaciers, destruction of our lands, forests, and territories, the devastation of biodiversity. The irony is that we are being targeted and our human rights are being violated as we continue to protect the nature, biodiversity, and defend our territory, contributing towards the climate action. Thus, climate justice is a matter of our mere existence. And we call for an inclusive space where our very existence is respected. Our voices are listened to, valued, and integrated in the decision-making spaces. And most importantly, our right over our land, forests, and territories is respected, recognized, and enforced. I hereby emphasize that indigenous people and young people should be leaders of climate action and not victims of climate policies. As I conclude, I firmly believe with love, respect, and solidarity, deep-rooted with justice, we can attain Paris Agreement and Sustainable Development Goals, and moreover, safeguard our human rights. Thank you. Johar.
I thank Ms. Soreng.